Dia's miniature world, polymer clay magic. When Diana got the idea to make polymer clay miniatures, she was very excited, but her mother was not so happy because the oven would be used for baking them. But when her mother saw how beautiful they were after being baked, she was impressed. The next day, Diana woke up early, put on her favorite sweater, and went to the kitchen to get some breakfast. Her mother had already left for work, and Diana's father was still sleeping. She didn't want to wake him up, so she just made herself a sandwich and sat down to watch TV. She watched cartoons, game shows, and soap operas until it was time to get ready for school. After Diana finished her homework, she took out the clay and started to make a small house. She rolled out a piece of dough and cut it into squares. Then she put the pieces together and sealed them with water. She added more details with toothpicks and a knife. And finally, she painted it with acrylic paints. The house looked so good that Diana decided to make a whole village. She spent hours making houses, shops, and other buildings. She also made tiny furniture and people to populate her miniature world. When she was done, she arranged everything on a large sheet of cardboard and stepped back to admire her work. It was so much fun to make these tiny little things, Diana thought as she looked at her creation. The next day at school, Diana told her friends all about her miniature world. They were really impressed when she showed them pictures she drew. At recess, Diana and her friends played in the sandbox. While they were playing, they pretended that they were tiny little people living in Diana's miniature world. They had so much fun. That afternoon, Diana went to the library to look for books about making polymer clay miniatures. She found a book with step-by-step instructions for making a wide variety of miniature items. She checked out the book and hurried home so she could start working on her next project. Over the next few weeks, Diana made so many wonderful things from polymer clay. She made houses, trees, flowers, animals, and even people. She created an entire world that was just perfect in every way. Diana was so proud of her work. One day, Diana was playing with her miniatures when she had an idea. She would make a diorama of her favorite place in the world, her garden. She started by making a small pond with water lily. She then made some rocks and placed them around the pond. She also made some flowers and bushes and placed them around the pond. She then made a path leading away from the pond and placed some more flowers and bushes along the path. Finally, she made a sign that said, "Welcome to my garden." She was so happy with how it turned out. She spent hours playing in her miniature garden. She would pretend that she was a tiny little person exploring the wonders of nature. She would also pretend that she was a butterfly fluttering from flower to flower. She had so much fun. Diana decided to make a display case for her garden so that she could show it off to her friends and family. She went to the craft store and bought a clear plastic box with a lid. She then cut a hole in the top of the box so that she could put her garden inside. She also bought some foam board and cut it to the size of the box. She glued the foam board to the bottom of the box and then put her garden on top of it. She then put the lid on the box and her display case was complete. The next day, Diana invited her friends over to see her miniature garden. They were all so impressed with her work. They spent hours playing in the garden and pretending that they were tiny little people. Diana was so happy that her friends loved her garden as much as she did. As the years passed, Diana continued to make miniatures and dioramas. She never lost interest in this hobby. In fact, it only grew stronger with time. Diana was now a teenager, but she still loved making miniatures just as much as when she was a little girl. One day, Diana was looking through her old things when she came across her first ever miniature. It was the small house that she had made when she was just 7 years old. As she looked at her old creation, Diana couldn't help but smile. She remembered how proud she had been when she first made it. And she still loved making miniatures just as much as she did back then. Diana decided to make a new miniature to go along with her old house. She wanted to make something that would complement her first ever creation. After thinking about it for a while, Diana decided to make a bakery. She had fond memories of going to the local bakery with her mother as a child. The smell of fresh bread and pastries always filled her with joy. She hoped that she could capture that same feeling in her miniature. Diana started by making the walls of the bakery. She wanted it to look like an old-fashioned brick building. She used a technique called marbling to create the bricks. This involved rolling out polymer clay into thin sheets and then cutting the sheets into small squares. She then arranged the squares in a brick pattern and pressed them into the walls. It was a time-consuming process, but Diana was patient and careful. Once the walls were finished, Diana moved on to the roof. She wanted to make a thatched roof that would give the bakery a cozy feel. She used a special tool called a thatching needle to create the roof. This tool has a sharp needle on one end and a comb on the other. Diana used the comb to pull the clay into thin strands. She then used the needle to weave the strands together to form a lattice pattern. Diana was pleased with how the roof turned out. It looked so authentic. Now it was time to add the finishing touches to the bakery. Diana made some windows and doors to go on the front of the building. She also made some small details like the chimney and the gutters. She then painted the bakery with acrylic paints. She used a wash to give the brickwork a realistic look. She also added some highlights with a white paint. The next step was to make the interior of the bakery. Diana wanted to make it look like a cozy place where you could buy fresh bread and pastries. She made some shelves and displays to show off the baked goods. She also made some tables and chairs for customers to sit at. Diana made some miniature loaves of bread and pastries to put on display. She used a special tool called a pastry wheel to cut the food into small pieces. This tool is designed to cut polymer clay into thin slices. Diana used it to cut the bread and pastries into bite-sized pieces. Once the interior was finished, Diana put the roof on the bakery. She used a strong glue to attach the roof to the walls. She then added some more details like the sign above the door. The sign said open 24 hours, and Diana thought it was the perfect touch. Finally, it was time to put the finishing touches on the bakery. Diana made some people to put inside the shop. She also made some outdoor furniture to go on the patio. The furniture looked great against the backdrop of the miniature town. Diana was so happy with how her bakery turned out. She thought it was the perfect addition to her miniature world. She arranged her old house and the bakery next to each other. They looked great together. Diana spent hours playing in her miniature town. She would pretend that she was a tiny little person living in the town. She would visit the bakery to buy fresh bread and pastries, or she would take a stroll down the street. She had so much fun. As Diana played with her miniatures, she couldn't help but feel a sense of peace. It was so relaxing to create a world where everything was small and quiet. It was a welcome break from the hustle and bustle of real life. In addition to providing a relaxing escape, Diana's miniatures also helped her to exercise her creativity. She was able to use her imagination to create anything she wanted. There were no limits to what she could make. This was very freeing for Diana, and it allowed her to express herself in a unique way. Making miniatures was also a great way for Diana to relax and relieve stress. When she was working on a miniature, she was able to focus on something other than her problems. This was very helpful when she was feeling overwhelmed. Putting her mind to a creative task helped her to calm down and relax. Finally, Diana's miniatures provided her with a sense of accomplishment. It was so satisfying to create something small and delicate. It was a nice change of pace from the larger projects she worked on in her real life. When Diana finished a miniature, she felt a sense of pride. She knew that she had created something special, and that made her feel good about herself. Overall, Diana's love of miniatures was a positive force in her life. It helped her to relax, be creative, and feel accomplished. And she knew that she would continue to enjoy making miniatures for many years to come. Today, Diana's passion for miniatures has taken her around the world. She has traveled to many different countries to learn new techniques and see famous miniatures. She has also exhibited her own work in galleries and museums. But no matter where she goes or what she does, Diana always comes home to her beloved miniatures. They will always be her first love and the source of her greatest joy. If you liked the story, please leave a comment below. We'll be sure to read them all. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.